When looking at metal, we're looking at really sharp and strong contrasts of value. So if you look right through here, you're going to see areas that are almost white and almost completely black right here. Metal and anything metallic that's very reflective has a lot of contrast. Okay? Now, right through here, we can see that it's a simple gradient, just kind of a dark to a medium dark, and then has that super light edge so that it really captures that sense of light reflecting off of it. If you can imagine here, we have kind of that gradient running through, and then you could just right through here, and then you could erase that highlight in there and add a little bit of dark on the other side, and you have that divot that we're looking at right now. The technique is actually fairly simple. When we think about metal, we try to way overcomplicate things, and we think that it's going to be extremely difficult. But really, if you just think about it as shapes, that we're seeing, right here, there's a simple gradient in the background with two long, streaky, light shapes. That's, that's it. That's that section. There's not a whole lot to it. There are some lighter darks and some darker darks, but mainly it's all about these high contrast areas. Now, things get more complex as you look at the bowl of the spoon because it's concave, and that changes the way light reflects off of it. It's not as simple as the straight handle part, but it's still extreme high contrast. Huge white area with a couple black dots in it. You have these dark rims that show that huge contrast there. Remember, with metal, super dark, super light, they're usually next to each other. Just like this. I mean, it's like it's turning a corner, and it is, so you don't really think about seeing that sort of thing on a rounded spoon, but it's like white and black right there. Boom. No line in between. It's just next to each other on the object. Now, as we look into the actual, the whole spoon from a kind of a zoom out angle, all of those little details, you don't really see them as much. It's just kind of like streaky line, messy stuff. So keep that in mind too, that you want to capture the essence while still capturing the detail. And that comes from both looking at the little details like this and how it kind of is just a smooth gradient from one side to the other, and also looking at the object as a whole. But check out what happens if we go the other direction from that same spot. It's still just as dark and it stays dark. But then there's a huge drop off right here and it gets light. There's not a big dark line in between, it just changes. Okay? It doesn't get super light. It was kind of like a medium dark, or a dark medium, whichever you prefer. But you have to think about it as these like simple transitions. It's a little bit easier to see when you zoom out in those huge areas of light and dark that kind of pop in there. Just like that, we saw that transition. Now, let's take a look at the way the cast shadow interacts. It gives us an idea as the form of the spoon, especially the handle, because what you're looking at is the shaft kind of looks like it's just straight there, but the curve of the cast shadow, the cast on the white paper that the spoon is sitting on, it curves and it shows that there is an arch to the handle of the spoon. Now, if you look up at the top here, you see that you have kind of like this weird oval shape. It's not the same oval as the main part of the spoon, it's going a different direction. And that's because the end of the spoon is being lifted off of the paper and the light is filtering in. And it's kind of fuzzing out that shadow into a weird shape that's not like the shape of the spoon. So it's kind of cool because you're seeing light hitting it from one angle, you're seeing the object from another angle. It's kind of like you're seeing it from two different angles because you have that light angle, your angle. And that's what helps give this object a sense of three-dimensionality.